Welcome to the unseen battles happening right in your backyard. Picture this: tiny invaders munching away at your beloved plants, causing destruction in their wake. These common garden pests are more than just a nuisance. They can wreak havoc on your garden's ecosystem. But what if we told you that there are natural ways to control these pests? Eco-friendly methods that not only protect your plants but also contribute to a healthier environment. What if we could turn the tide of this battle, naturally? First step to victory: know your enemies. In the world of gardening, there's an unseen battle waging right beneath our noses, or rather, our gardening gloves. It's a tale of life and death, growth and decay, and it all starts with knowing who your enemies are. Let's kick things off with one of the most notorious villains in the garden: the aphid. These tiny critters, also known as plant lice, come in many colors, but they all share one common trait: a voracious appetite for your plants. They suck the sap from plant stems and leaves, causing them to wilt and yellow. If you notice a sticky residue on your plants or a sudden influx of ants, it's likely you've got an aphid problem. Next up, we have slugs and snails. These slow-moving pests might seem harmless, but they're anything but. They love to feast on young plants and leaves, leaving behind a trail of destruction, quite literally. If you're finding irregular holes in your plant leaves, or seeing a shiny, slimy trail on the soil, slugs or snails might be your culprits. Then there are the caterpillars. Yes, they might turn into beautiful butterflies or moths, but before they do, they can cause quite a bit of damage. They chew on leaves, flowers, and fruits, often leaving nothing but the skeleton of the plant behind. If you're seeing ragged or skeletonized leaves, caterpillars might be to blame. But let's not forget about the underground enemies. Root maggots, grubs, and nematodes all live beneath the soil's surface, causing damage before you even know they're there. They feed on plant roots, causing plants to yellow, wilt, or even die. If your plants are struggling despite proper care, it's time to investigate below the surface. Knowledge is power, and in this case, it's the power to protect your garden. So remember, the first step in winning the battle against garden pests is knowing your enemies. Once you know what you're up against, you can start to devise a strategy to keep these pests at bay and maintain a healthy, vibrant garden. Time to build the defenses! Ah, the smell of victory. Or is that just the scent of garlic? In our quest to fortify our gardens against pests, we'll be using some of nature's most potent repellents. Garlic, for instance, isn't just a staple in your kitchen, it's a powerful deterrent against pests. A spray made from crushed garlic and water can help keep those pesky insects at bay. But don't stop at garlic. Hot peppers and onions can also do wonders. Blend them together with some water to create a spicy spray that pests will think twice about crossing. Just be careful not to get it in your eyes. However, not all defenses are made in the kitchen. Sometimes you have to think outside the box, or in this case, outside the house. A barrier of crushed eggshells around your plants can deter slugs and snails. The sharp edges are like walking over broken glass for them. And as an added bonus, eggshells can enrich your soil with calcium as they decompose. Another excellent barrier is copper tape. Slugs and snails experience a reaction similar to an electric shock when they touch copper. So, wrapping a strip of copper tape around your plant pots can keep these slimy invaders at bay. But what about airborne pests? Enter the bird feeder. Attracting birds to your garden can help control pests like aphids and caterpillars. Think of it as recruiting your own squadron of aerial defenders. Just remember to provide a source of fresh water for your feathered friends. And let's not forget about our four-legged allies. Hedgehogs, frogs, and toads are natural predators of many garden pests. Building a small wildlife habitat can encourage these helpful creatures to take up residence in your garden. With these defenses in place, your garden will be a veritable fortress against pests. But remember, these are just a few of the many natural repellents and barriers available. Don't be afraid to experiment and find what works best for your garden. Remember, the best defense is a good defense. So, fortify your garden and watch it flourish. Not all insects are foes, some are your garden's best friends. Now let's meet these allies in the insect world who are on standby, ready to help you win the battle against garden pests. First off, we have the ladybugs or ladybirds, depending on where you're from. These charming creatures have a voracious appetite for aphids, which are notorious for damaging plants. Ladybugs can consume up to 50 aphids a day, making them an excellent natural pest control mechanism. Another ally is the lacewing. With their delicate green or brown bodies and gossamer wings, they might not look like much, but their larvae have an insatiable hunger for aphids, mites, and other soft-bodied pests. Think of them as the silent assassins of your garden. Then we have the ground beetle, a nocturnal predator that feasts on slugs, snails, and cutworms. These beetles are like the night watchmen of your garden, providing a valuable service under the cover of darkness. Let's not forget our airborne allies. Birds, especially songbirds, are nature's pest control. They feed on a variety of insects including beetles, grubs, and caterpillars. Plus, their melodious songs add a delightful soundtrack to your garden. And then there's the garden spider. Yes, they might give some of us the creeps, but these eight-legged friends are fantastic at controlling flying pests. Their intricate webs trap mosquitoes, flies, and other unwelcome guests. Finally, we have the toad, an often overlooked garden ally. These amphibians feast on a smorgasbord of pests, including beetles, slugs, and snails. As a bonus, they're also fascinating creatures to observe as they go about their nightly hunts. By encouraging these beneficial insects and animals into your garden, you're not just controlling pests. You're promoting biodiversity and contributing to a healthier, more balanced ecosystem. It's a win-win situation for everyone involved. So the next time you see a ladybug or hear a songbird, remember to thank them for their service. They're not just adding beauty to your garden, they're also working hard to keep it healthy. Embrace these allies for a thriving, balanced garden. Arm yourself with nature's own weapons. For centuries, gardeners have turned to the earth's bounty to fend off pests. Today we'll share some of these age-old secrets, organic pest control recipes, and methods you can whip up right at home. Firstly, consider a spicy solution. Many pests are deterred by strong smells and tastes. You can make a simple spray by combining 1 tablespoon of cayenne pepper, 1 bulb of minced garlic, and 1 minced onion, steeped in a gallon of water. After 24 hours, strain the mixture and add a tablespoon of liquid soap. Spray this concoction on affected plants and watch as pests flee from the fiery taste. Next, let's talk about a gardener's best friend, diatomaceous earth. This natural powder, made from the fossilized remains of tiny aquatic organisms, is lethal to pests, but harmless to humans and pets. Sprinkle it around your garden to create a barrier that insects won't dare cross. Another powerful tool in your arsenal is neem oil. This organic substance interferes with the life cycle of pests, making it a long-term solution. Mix 2 teaspoons of neem oil with 1 liter of water and a few drops of dish soap, then spray on your plants every week. Lastly, remember that sometimes, the best offense is a good defense. Introduce plants that naturally repel pests into your garden. Marigolds, for example, deter aphids and mosquitoes. Lavender repels moths, fleas, and flies. The strong scent of mint keeps ants and mice away. These methods are not only effective but also eco-friendly. They allow you to maintain a healthy, thriving garden without resorting to harmful chemicals. And the best part? They're all made from ingredients you likely have in your pantry or can easily grow in your garden. Remember, every garden is unique, so don't be afraid to experiment and see what works best for your space. Gardening is a journey, not a destination. It's about learning, adapting, and growing alongside your plants. With these tools, you're ready to take on any garden invader. Let's not invite trouble in the first place. Wise words, aren't they? Especially when it comes to our gardens. Prevention is indeed better than cure. Fortifying your garden against pests starts with cultivating healthy plants. Plants with optimum health are less likely to attract pests, so ensure you're providing your plants with the right amount of sunlight, water, and nutrients. Next, consider crop rotation. This practice disrupts the life cycle of pests and can significantly reduce their populations. Companion planting can also be an effective way to deter pests. Some plants naturally repel certain pests, so consider pairing these with your more vulnerable plants. And don't forget about cleanliness. Removing fallen leaves and rotting fruits promptly can prevent pests from making a home in your garden. Remember, your garden is an ecosystem. It thrives on balance. By practicing these preventative measures, you're creating an environment where pests are less likely to thrive. Because at the end of the day, a well-tended garden is a fortress against pests. Now, you're ready to become a natural pest control warrior. It's time to put these methods into practice, to protect your precious plants and create a flourishing, pest-free garden. Remember, every small change makes a big difference. And as you embark on this journey, don't forget to share your success stories. Let's inspire others to follow in your footsteps and embrace these eco-friendly solutions. Join the fight for healthier gardens and let nature be your guide.